Hello everybody, my name is Parvez Alam, and in this video I'm going to talk about the powers that human beings have been gifted with before coming to experience this life on earth. But first, I would like to tell you a story of a guy who I used to be, who had lost everything and who was questioning his existence. But at the right time, he got the right motivation which led him to a new path towards a journey in search of truth. I didn't have many pleasant childhood memories. When I started growing up, I had a very difficult time understanding and trusting people. I didn't have many friends. The only friends I had was books. I used to read stories, study science and mathematics. I was kind of an alien to the real world. Then something happened, and that caused me to lose my connection with books. And once that happened, then my mind was exposed to the people and the chatter of the masses. And then some really crazy things happened to me, and I became an alien to the person I used to be. Now I became so involved in the madness of life that I didn't have any vision for my future, and I didn't even care. I was living as if there is no tomorrow, and many years passed by, and then one day I had a car accident, which caused a fracture in my leg and multiple muscle injuries. My whole body was in so much pain, and I had to spend many months lying and resting on bed. While I was lying on bed, unable to walk, I got time to think. So I started asking myself questions about why I have been wasting my life for nothing for all those years, and I had no answer. So I asked myself, am I just crazy enough to believe that I am here to live this life for no particular reason at all? Is it just a waste of time, space and matter to achieve nothing? The inner voice in me said, it can't be. So I asked, what is it then? And the inner voice replied, you have to figure it out for yourself. And that's where my journey begins, to understand the purpose of being human. When I started studying about the powers that human beings have been gifted with, about the power of mind over matter, the physical manifestation of a thought impulse, the healing that people are doing with their minds, I was mesmerized by it. So I decided to dedicate my life to study the human potential and powers. When I got involved into the study and understood the potential within me, I became a different person. Someone who found the meaning of his life. I got freedom from the traps of the mind, and I found my inner peace. Now, you might want to know, what did I do to achieve this freedom and peace? The answer is simple. I altered my self-image. I saw myself as someone who was unknown to this old self of me. The old self was not comfortable with the unknown self. So I decided to leave the old self behind, and I became one with the unknown self. And when this unknown self started to unfold itself, I was happier than ever, and I found my freedom and peace. Now, let's talk about the potential and power within us and how to use it to create a greater expression of our life. The definition of consciousness says that consciousness is the state or quality of awareness of an external object or something within oneself. The ability to understand the environment around you is a simple form of consciousness, which we can easily observe in the animals. Animals also have emotional reactions to some external events that happen in their environment. But the period for which the emotional reaction stays is very short for animals. Some animals have a higher level of consciousness than the others, but they all live in the present moment, that is, now. For example, if a lion catches a deer, kills it and eats it, he doesn't think, it was good, but tomorrow I'm gonna try a sheep or something else. He can't do that. because his level of consciousness doesn't allow him to think of tomorrow. Now, what makes human beings different from all other creatures of the planet is their ability to think, to imagine, and to plan for tomorrow. The higher level of consciousness in human beings allow them to think ahead of the time. The consciousness or conscious awareness of human beings has always been evolving. And if we learn about the recent scientific research in neuroscience and quantum physics, we will find that there is no limit to how far a human consciousness can evolve. There is infinite potential within us. The first step towards growth and advancement is understanding. Think about this. When Edison had the vision of an electric bulb in his mind, on the intuitive level, he knew that it can be done, but he didn't have the understanding of how to do it. He then begins to take actions and work on the idea with the understanding he had. He failed thousands of times, but he didn't really fail. On the contrary, he was getting a higher level of understanding of the principles upon which his idea was going to become alive, and one day, when the process of understanding was over, his dream was alive in front of his eyes. His story teaches us that when you have a desire to do something, the ways to do it is already here. All you have to do is to be willing to move on the path to do it without any thoughts of backing off. Doesn't matter how hard or long is the path. When you decide to move on the path of personal growth, you have to be ready to meet a number of temporary failures and defeats before meeting with your better self. The path of personal growth is the path of understanding the self. The more you understand yourself, the more you grow, and the more happy, healthy, and prosper you become. It all begins with a sense of purpose. The understanding of yourself lies in the process of asking 3 questions. And the first question is, who am I? Everybody has his own answer to this question. It could mean many things, depending upon the person and his environment. However, if we think about this in terms of the essence, who am I in my true essence? The answer is, I am infinite potential. What does that mean? Understand that there is an infinite intelligent field of energy and information all around us. This field has a sense of self, a consciousness, and it is the container of everything that exists and everything that we experience in this life. This field carries an infinite number of possible and probable expressions of us. It means, if you think about living in your dream house, it follows that this experience is already a potential in the quantum field, and every potential of you that exists in the quantum field is actually you in your true essence. There is an infinite number of potential that exists for you in the field, which means you are infinite in your true essence. The second question is, where am I? Now, when it comes to this question, there are thousands of ways to answer it. But how to answer it in relative terms to me being a potential in the field? If I am a potential in the field of thought, then my physical presence must be in the field of physical experiences. At this point, right now, I am experiencing one of the infinite potentials that exist as me in the field. Make it simple. Think about next 24 hours of your life. What you can do in this time. For example, you can visit your favorite place. You can go out on a date with the person you love. You can go somewhere with your friends. You can read your favorite book. Or you can go on with your daily routine, etc. etc. Are all potential of you in the field that you can experience in the next 24 hours of your physical life. But you cannot choose to experience all of them at once. You have to choose one at a time. So, you will choose the one which you think is more important to you, and then you will embrace it with an emotion. and that's what you would be doing for the next 24 hours. The problem with us is that our brain is always trying to interpret the information that it receives from the external environment and trying to make sense out of it so that it can predict the next event. And this process of our brains tricks us to believe that we are limited to a three-dimensional physical world. So, always remember, we are here to experience life, not to become the slaves of those experiences. Because when our focus is moving from one potential to another, it's gonna make things worse. When you think about having something and then you think about why you can't have it, what you are doing is you are choosing one potential for experience the one moment and you are choosing the opposite potential of it the next moment. And then you are moving in between those potentials in the field and you are not sure of what you want to experience. In that case, the only thing you can experience is frustration and anxiety. Put all of your attention to the experience that you truly want to have and forget about everything else. Just focus on the experience in your mind every day. Live it in your mind as it is truly happening. When you do so, you are putting your attention to that experience in the field. And where you put your attention is where you put your energy. And wherever you put your energy grows in your life. The experience then will be drawn from the field of thoughts into your physical reality of experience. Now, how it will happen? Don't ever try to control that. Leave that to the universal consciousness of the field. It will orchestrate it for you. And when you will experience it, you will feel whole. It will enrich your mind in a way that a greater desire for a greater experience will emerge in you. Now, the third question is, when am I? When here is referring to the time. So, if you try to think about my time in the relative term of me being a potential and an expression of that potential, then time becomes a very interesting thing. In the relative terms, time is a gap between the two frames of experience. But what I call my time is the time when I am actually having the experience, and which made it only one term, and it is now. So the answer to the question, when am I, is always now. What is now? Now is the present moment. When you buy your new car and you are excited, that's your now. When you are reading a book, your now is in the world of that book. When you are imagining about the experience you want to have, your now is in that experience. Wherever you put your attention and focus is where you are in the now. The rest is just memories and visions. Now is the life. We don't know how much life on this plane of existence we have ahead of us, but we know that every day we get 24 hours to experience this life. What we are going to experience is what we are going to create. We are not here just to experience, but to create the event with our mind and then experience it. In order to be the best version of yourself, you have to understand the importance of time, because everything is limitless but time. How you use your time is going to determine what probable experiences you are going to have during your physical existence. How to be the greatest expression of yourself? The first thing you need to understand is that there is no best version of you because you are infinite, which means it doesn't matter how good you are at what you do, there is always a possibility of improvement. In the quantum field of potential, there are an infinite number of possible expression or vibration from negative to positive. It means you can have any experience from poverty to prosperity, misery to highest joy, sickness to health, hate to unconditional love, etc. etc. From all the possible expression of your life, you are only going to experience the expression that is consistent with your self-image. Self-image is the root cause of everything that we experience here in this life. Self-image is our own conception and belief about ourselves. Dr. Maxwell Maltz, in his great book Psycho-Cybernetics, said, "The self-image is the key to human personality and behavior. Change the self-image, and you change the personality and the behavior. The self-image sets the boundaries of individual accomplishment. It defines what you can and cannot do. Expand the self-image, and you expand the area of the possible. The development of an adequate, realistic self-image will seem to imbue the individual with new capabilities, new talents, and literally turn failure into success." To understand the self-image in simple terms, stand in front of a mirror. You will see a reflection in the mirror of your body and clothes you are wearing, and the space and things behind and around you. Now, if you try to change any aspect of the reflection you are seeing in the mirror without changing your physical appearance or environment around you, you could spend your whole life trying, but you will never succeed in changing it. On the other hand, if you make any change in your physical appearance, the reflection in the mirror will change itself. Understand this. Your life is almost like the reflection in the mirror, and your self-image is like your physical appearance. If you want to improve your life, the only way that improvement can be experienced is by improving the self-image. Understand that the self-image is an idea that is stored in the subconscious mind, and the way to change anything in the subconscious mind is repetition. You cannot just meditate and visualize your new self-image one time and have a transformational moment. It's a process, and you have to be involved in it every day. Keep improving your beliefs about yourself and what you are capable of, and your life will keep improving itself. There is no end to your advancement and growth. Understand that every experience of your life left its impression on your self-image. And as long as you are thinking within the boundaries of your past experiences, you cannot create and experience something greater. When you sit in a relaxed state, close your eyes and see yourself as the new person you desire to be, and pay your full attention to the internal experience you are creating in your mind, and live the event in your mind as it is actually happening. There will come a moment when you will forget about your outer world, and your inner world of thought will become more real than the outer world. When that happens, you are at your best. Your inner world is more real than the physical world. The door between the conscious and the subconscious mind will be wide open, and you will become one with the universal consciousness. The subconscious mind will start adding this new information to the self-image immediately. This will be your new self. But when you will come back to the physical world, the old self would feel uncomfortable with this new self, and it will start giving you all the reasons why you should leave this new self. You can choose to go back to the old self and be the same old you, or you can choose to embrace the new self and repeat the process of relaxation, meditation, and visualization on a daily basis. If you choose to embrace the new self, it is going to feel uncomfortable for a certain period of time. But once this new self will begin to unfold itself in your physical world, it's gonna make you feel whole. It won't leave any doubt in your mind that you truly are the creator of your own destiny. You are the miracle you are looking for. If you like the information that I shared with you through this video, subscribe this channel, like this video, and share this video. Thank you very much.